This is the Red Beard Podcast.
Hold on to your butt.
Do we really suck? Or is this guy really that good?
I have one speed, I have one gear. Go!
Hey, this is Zach Galligan, and you're listening to Red Beard Podcast. You know, the guys are pretty cool, but don't feed them after midnight.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Red Beard Podcast. This is Cooley, and I'm chilling with my boy.
What's going on, guys? This is Tony.
Yeah. Today we got a pretty good show lined up. We're actually going to talk about a few different things. The first we're going to get into right away is going to be Gremlins.
Hell yeah, man. This is awesome because Zach Galligan, who is the star of the 80s classic, and he played Billy Peltzer, he announced that they're definitely making a Gremlins 3, which is going to be awesome. So I know that they don't exactly know where the story is going to go yet, but they do know they want to do kind of like a Jurassic World type thing where it's supposed to take place like 30 years later. It's not going to be like a reboot or a remake in any way, but they are just going to kind of carry the story on. So, and Zach Galligan said he swears on his life, actually, quote, that he does not know if he's involved yet, but would love to be involved because he's one of the only remaining people of the cast that is still kind of alive, except for the other girl, Zoe, or
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know.
Yeah,
Zoe,
but
Phoebe Cates.
she doesn't want anything to. She's not an actress anymore. She doesn't do that.
She stepped out a while ago. So I mean, it would be cool to see her come back in because she was in the second one with him, and they were together.
I don't even think anybody knows what she looks like anymore.
Yeah, she's married to somebody big. I forgot who she's married to, but it's an older guy. Oh, she's married to Kevin Kline.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All
so.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, he's still an actor. Maybe he'll convince her to jump back in. I think it'd be cool to see her just come back for Gremlins because that's what she's known for.
Yeah.
And she's
Fast
known
Times.
and Fast Times. Oh, Jesus, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to see what they do with that. I hope that they bring back practical effects instead of making Gizmo complete CGI.
Yeah. No. If they do CGI, I'm out. I'm not. I don't even think I'm going to watch it.
You know that. Well, they are going to use some CGI because it's going to be cheaper. But I also think for the most part, the Gremlins are going to have to be. I feel like if it's a wide shot of like a ton of Gremlins, I'm okay with CGI in that respect. But I'm not okay with CGI when it's like up close, like with the Mogwai. Like that has to be practical effects.
Yeah. I mean, the only way that I would be on board with CGI is if they're not doing it to save money.
Right.
Because that means that they'll put the money into the CGI to make sure that it's legit, like Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, yeah.
That shit was unreal.
Yeah.
You know, I would be in on that.
It's funny that you said that because we're going to post, I already did post on Twitter at redbeardpodcast.com the link that talks about Gremlins 3 and their thoughts on it. And there's a YouTube clip where Zach Galligan actually mentions CGI and points out Planet of the Apes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, if we do CGI, Planet of the Apes is kind of like what
I watched
CGI
that clip. Maybe that's where I got that from.
I think it was like osmosis. You kind of sucked that in, yeah. If not, man,
it's a legit thought, though. I mean, like that's definitely that's where my head would have gone. Like, because it's like that's the only CGI right now. That and King Kong.
Oh, yeah, King Kong was great.
That you look at and you're just like, that shit looks real. Like no question.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm excited to see where they go with it. Who knows? I mean, they don't really have a script yet, but I'm just glad that it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. That's one of the coolest things because I don't know. Gremlins is one of those movies that I feel like a lot of people that are seeing it for the first time now, like the younger generation, love it, have like a respect for it because it's so original. You know?
It's one of my favorite movies like ever.
Yeah. And it's technically a Christmas movie,
yes,
which Don and I mentioned in the 80s podcast. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see where they go.
I think I went to the theater to see that, like, again, one of my movies that I went to go see multiple times.
You know, when I first saw that movie as a kid, I became so obsessed with it that I went to... It was like Borders, or I think it was Borders. They were doing something where Gremlins 2, the new batch, came out, and because of that movie coming back like as a sequel, they were selling like the stuffed animal like Mogwais, like Gizmo.
Right.
And I was obsessed with the movie, so I saved up like $35 like in my allowance to actually go get one. And I remember like my dad was like, you know what? He's like, since you saved up that money, he's like, I know you really want this. He's like, save that money. I'm going to buy it for you.
Nice.
And he bought it for me because he knew like I actually was like disciplined and like save my money.
Right.
But he bought it for me because, you know, he's proud of me for doing that. But also like I was able to keep that money and still get that. And I still have it. I still have it. It's so cool.
Dude,
You know?
like the new batch, I think so. The Gremlins was one of the first movies that I watched that I was like, got to see it multiple times. It was awesome, and like just fell in love with it and the characters and the Mogwais, and you know the Gremlins were just like really cool looking creatures, right? Even though they were like evil as hell, like they were cool looking, like and like I was just into it. Like I love the shit, but the new batch was like one of the first movies that it's one of the first sequels that actually made me believe that sequels cannot be done. Like I watched that movie and I was just scratching my head the whole fucking time. Like what the hell's going on?
Well,
and I'm a kid at this point, but I'm still asking, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah,
like,
well, I went to the theater to see that when it first came out, and even though I thought some of it was funny, it was almost like WB was cracking on the fact that Gremlins was a thing. Like it was almost like a parody of Gremlins. Like they made fun of Gizmo. They made they had like Christopher Lee in it, and he was kind of like one of the scientists that was like kind of making a joke out of like the Gremlins. They had these two redheaded scientist twins. Mm-hmm. It was the same guy who got stabbed in the eye in Terminator 2.
Right.
Like that, you know, like that same guy. Those two twins were in it, and they were kind of goofy. Some of the Gremlins were like supposed to be funny, goofy. Like one of them was like woo, and it had like this weird eye. Like I didn't think it wasn't really like a horror movie like the first one was.
right.
You know, and I don't understand what they were doing. They were actually like, making fun of the Gremlins, but
No, you know what it was? It was merchandising.
well, that's exactly what it was. But it was stupid.
Because like you can come out with like all the action figures of all the different kinds of Gremlins that came out. Like instead of it just being like Gremlins, like the first one was cool because there was only one Gremlin that was different, and that was Stripe.
Stripe. Yeah.
The rest of them were just freaking Gremlins, like his minions almost. You know what I mean? Like he was the one that stepped up and he was like the leader.
Yeah.
And that was freaking cool. But then the new batch was like you had all these like you had the Bat Gremlins, you had the friggin' Aqua Gremlins, you had like
You had the smart one. He's like, was that civilized? Clearly,
Yeah.
not. He like blows that other Gremlin's head off. Like
Right.
that was funny.
Like yeah, no. Granted, some of the stuff was funny, but I was still sitting there like what the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
I was more of I just loved like how in the first Gremlins you didn't really even see them until halfway through.
Right.
We actually get to see what they look like, and they made it really creepy. Like I like when the guys the teacher. He's like, come on. He's like, I got a Snickers for you. He's like, come on, let me see you. And then you see like the hand come over and he grabs the apple. It's like, yum, yum.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that was like so cool. It's like, you know, Gizmo, caca. like I loved that. You know, like that was like so creepy, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what made it like made it just like such a good damn movie. So, but whatever. Speaking of creatures and Christmas, and one of the things we wanted to talk about today was this is really cool. So some people that we work with actually developed a song which is on iTunes, which you can get. It's called "The Krampus Comes Tonight," and this has nothing to do with the movie that's coming out now. You know, the Krampus movie. This is something that is completely separate.
Yeah, they've been working on this for a long time.
year.
Yeah, way longer. Like way before the trailer or anything about a Krampus movie was even announced. So it was just interesting timing that there's actually 2 Krampus movies coming out this year.
Yeah.
So if anything, that's just like, you know, it's better for our guys.
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I
good
mean?
timing for them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like now you've got like people that are actually aware of this creature, because I had never heard of him until they told me about him.
Yeah. I knew about it, but I didn't really know as much as I do now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because Christoph Waltz was on Jimmy Fallon, and he's actually from Germany or that area where the Krampus is actually like a popular thing that is celebrated. And it's actually, if for those of you who don't know what the Krampus is, is Santa Claus is obviously somebody who walks around and, obviously comes to your house and delivers presents and so forth, old Saint Nick. The Krampus was his, like, assistant in a sense that would walk around with him but was a demon with, like, hoofs and kind of looked like a devil. And he would carry a stick in one hand and a bag in the other. And if you were a naughty kid, he would basically put you in the bag and hit you with the stick. That's basically what the Krampus was. But
fucking awesome.
But in those parts of the world, the Krampus is something that is used to, persuade kids or convince them to be good, or the Krampus is going to come. And, now we have really stupid shit like Elf on a Shelf and all that stuff, so, stuff that is really non-threatening as it is. I think that's creepy, this thing that's like shows up in different places of your house and is watching you. But, I think it's interesting, that this is something that, is celebrated in other countries. Like I was telling you earlier, in like Germany, or I don't exactly know what part of the world it is, but Christoph Waltz was saying that like they have these celebrations where guys get drunk and they dress up like the Krampus and run through the village and basically like have actors that are there that they like throw on the ground and drag across the streets.
Right.
Like the Krampus is dragging him to hell. It's really like dark, but they celebrate this. It's like a holiday. And if you look up the Krampus on YouTube, you can see all this stuff. But the song is that our friends released is called "The Krampus Comes Tonight." It's on iTunes, it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, and just look up the Krampus Collaborative because that's what the name they're going under.
Right.
So we hope that you guys will support them. They really worked their butts off on this song, and it's actually really got a nice like hook to it. It's catchy.
It's catchy. It's funny. It's well done. I mean, like it's definitely something that it makes me proud to like know the people that did it.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's professional.
It is. It really sounds good. It's not something like somebody tossed out. It sounds like top notch. So download it on iTunes. It's 99 cents. We're also going to post a YouTube video, which is kind of like a sing along, so you can look at the lyrics. And they also have not just the song on iTunes, but the instrumental. So if you want to actually play that and sing along and stuff like that, you can.
And you can get the sheet music.
Yeah, you can get the sheet music too. So
like they went all out. I mean, like that. This is like This is such a like. I feel like this is like a special edition like package for Christmas. Like it's mind blowing. Like all the stuff that you can get with a song. Like it's not like just some like parody song that came out like that you listen to and that's it. Like it's very interactive. Like it is. It's
excellent. I mean, I was the first time I heard it was on Black Friday because they released it on Black Friday,
which is perfect.
Which I think is perfect.
Yeah.
So, and I played it, in at work, and everybody like they hadn't heard it yet either, and I was like, we got to play this right now, and I like connected it to the speaker and played it, and like we were all laughing, and he was back there too, like laughing, and I was like, I am hooked on this song. I played it like 3 times.
Yeah, it's got a really good feel to it. It's like jazzy, and it's like very Christmassy, and it's also very dark, and it's like if you mixed like that like creepy church organ music with like
That's exactly
with like jingle bells.
Yeah, that's right? Exactly what it is. It's like church music and jingle bells together. That's
have
perfect.
a little Bublé like singing over it. You know what I mean? Like it's really well done. So good.
My favorite part of the song is just the chorus though, where it's like where he's like bells will ring and chains will swing and there'll be songs of fright. Bum bum. It's just like it's so it's so twisted, but it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, check it out, guys. The Krampus Collaborative, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music. You can find it and hook our guys up because they work their asses off on it.
I love that mentality too of like the idea of the Krampus. Like, I mean, it's like in our society, it's like be good and you'll get stuff, and like in that society, it's like be good and you'll get stuff, but you also won't get your ass beat in a bag.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or get eaten by a demon. Like that's I mean, I like that. That's it just like, scare the kids a little bit. Be good.
Yeah, exactly.
So be good.
Scare the shit out of the kids. If you're not good, you're not going to get presents, but you're going to get dragged to hell.
Right.
With a chain with a hook on it.
Yeah.
And one other thing to throw out there, all the proceeds from this go to New Urban Arts. So they're